Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Carlos. I'm a professional drone pilot and photographer based here in Southern California. I film everything you see on this channel. As you can imagine, every month I compile hours and terabytes of footage of sharks. Most of the time the sharks are just doing what I call chilling. They're not doing very much. But I do have a lot of footage just sitting there on my hard drive, and I want to bring you more shark content. So I want to introduce you to my new monthly segment that I'm going to call the Monthly Wrap-Up, and we're just going to look at some of this footage that didn't make that final cut of my normal videos. Let's get right into it. This month has been pretty slow in comparison to previous years because of this. The ocean has looked like this. This is why it's famously known as May Gray and June Gloom. The marine layer has just really driven me nuts. It's hindered my searches. However, that doesn't mean that I can't find a shark or two. It's just harder. One thing about this time of year is that new sharks start to appear. These are young of the year juveniles. As the water warms, more and more juvenile young sharks begin to show up. And that's a good thing because it just gives us more footage to capture. And obviously the more sharks, the more cool things that we can see. Now this shark caught my eye. Now look at the gash on this one, behind the dorsal fin. Usually when sharks have injuries like this, it's much easier to identify them later down the road. Now, I hate to see injuries on sharks, but for identification purposes, this will be an easier shark for me to track going forward. This is a young shark. I'd estimate it to be around 7 feet long. This gash will definitely heal. What could have caused this? I'd say it was probably a boat strike, a vessel strike of some sort, maybe a fishing injury, who knows, but I named this shark Two Fin because when I first saw it, it looked like it had two fins, so a fitting name, I suppose. All right, so here's another clip from late May. It's another shark that I've not identified before. It's a new one, and it's very small, but you never know what you're gonna see when you're out there searching for sharks. And on this day, I saw a dinosaur, literally a dinosaur. Here you can see a guy in a dinosaur costume, and if you look closely, there's another drone right there that was filming the guy in the costume. Based on where the drone is, I don't believe that he could see the shark. Anyhow, anytime I see another drone like this, I make it a point to basically stay away from that area. I still film the shark, but I always kept an eye on where that drone was. Still, it goes to show that you just never know what you're going to see when you're out filming sharks. Here's another example of what you don't expect to find in this clip. I came across this mysterious object while I was doing a routine search. It was a pretty cloudy day, but this piece of object or material caught my eye. I had no idea what it was, so like anyone else would do, I posted the question to the experts on Facebook and on Instagram. I had no idea the response I would get. It's one of the most engaging stories I've released this year. The most telling part about this is how many folks thought that the megalodon still exists. Possible explanations for this went from a megalodon fin to a gray whale fin to the tooth of a large shark, even the dorsal fin of an orca. I did get a few folks who deduced that this might be part of a sailboat, which is what I personally thought when I first saw it. But then as I lingered and I kept looking at the footage, I kept asking myself, is this organic? This could be a fin of some sort. Whatever it is, it was big. I really wanted to know what it was, so I searched the next day. We had a big variance of tides this month, and so I kept searching, and I didn't find anything, so it would remain a mystery for the better part of the last month, up until about 2 weeks ago. And I found what was the likely explanation. Just a mile down the road from where I first saw this object, there's an estuary, and right at the mouth of that estuary, there's this object. It's obviously a piece of a boat, and it's the same shape, the same size, so I think we solved the mystery here. Sorry folks, there's no megalodon out there, it's just the piece of a boat. There is something I filmed this month that was pretty unique though. It's something that if you visited any beach in Southern California, you likely noticed. I'm gonna show you here, and speaking of notice, check this out. I love when I see footage a second time and I find something I missed. Right there, do you see it? That's a large leopard shark. That's a pretty big leopard shark right there. I didn't see it when I was first flying. But not too far away was this white shark, and what it was swimming around is the interesting thing. You see those little white specks there? They're actually blue. Those are called vela velas. and it's basically a jelly-like creature, like a jellyfish, but it's not a jellyfish. And they're an offshore animal that lives way offshore, and the winds actually blow them to our coast. The LA Times published a nice article about these, so check that out. I'm going to link to it here in the video description below. They're beautiful animals if you look at them. That blue is just really pretty. Those winds brought them to our shores, and of course, along the path there, they have to intersect with great white sharks. So here's some clips of sharks next to these cool little jelly-like creatures. Like so much with filming nature, it's usually the small things I find most intriguing, and this is a good example of it. Let me know in the comments if you saw these little jelly-like creatures on our beaches this spring. Okay, so last but not least, here's some bonus footage that's not sharks. Every month I film a lot of stuff other than sharks that's quite beautiful. And so I just want to add that in here on occasion just to share the beauty of this coast. These dolphins seem to be enjoying the kelp, and I had a lot of fun filming them. I will try to bring you more of this footage in the future. I have everything from pelicans to sea lions to whales and all that kind of stuff. So that's it for this month's wrap up. I've got some really cool videos coming up for you in the future. This month I did a lot of cool stuff. I went on an orca expedition. I filmed some feisty sharks. I even filmed a really large, what I suspect to be a pregnant shark in the spot where I filmed the possible newborn shark last year. So more coming up on that. A lot of cool developments in that spot, and I want to share that story with you coming up in the future. As always, thanks for watching. These videos do take some time, and your support, your views, your comments really, really make my day when I read them. I can't respond to all of them because I do get quite a bit, but I really appreciate it. Big thanks to my Patreons and to my YouTube members. That really helps me a lot, and I am very grateful for your support. And definitely check out my merch store when you get a chance. Got some really cool stuff coming up there as well. So until next month, I will see you later, and I'm going to go film some sharks right now because the weather is amazing.